Ladies and gentlemen, you ever sit there just minding your business and suddenly that one person pops into your head? You don't know why, but they just do. And then out of nowhere, you get a text from them. That ain't just a coincidence, that's a connection. See, when two people are truly in sync, their thoughts start lining up. So today, I'm going to tell you 10 signs you're both thinking of each other. When two people share a deep connection, words aren't always necessary to express it. A real connection goes beyond casual attraction. It shows up in the way you think about each other, the way your emotions sync, and the way your lives seem to intertwine even when you're apart. You ever had a moment where you randomly thought of someone and a second later, your phone lights up with their name? That's not just luck or coincidence. That's energy. That's two people being on the same frequency. When you're truly connected with someone, your minds start mirroring each other. You think of them, they think of you. And before you know it, life starts throwing little signs your way. One of the clearest signs of this connection is when they appear in your dreams. Your subconscious mind doesn't just pull random faces out of nowhere. If someone keeps showing up in your dreams, it means your mind is processing your bond with. Dreams are the brain's way of sorting through emotions, memories, and unspoken thoughts. And if this person keeps making an appearance, chances are they're thinking of you too. Another powerful sign is the urge to call or text them out of nowhere. Have you ever had that strong feeling to check in on someone and right before you do, they reach out first? That's a deep, unseen connection at play. It means your minds are in tune with each other's energy. You feel it before it happens. That's not something that happens with just anyone. It's reserved for special connections. Memories have a way of showing up at the most unexpected times. Maybe you hear a certain song and instantly you're transported back to a moment with them. Maybe you pass by a place where you both spend time together and suddenly all the emotions of that moment come rushing back. These memories don't just pop up for no reason. They resurface because deep down, that connection is still alive. And if you're thinking of, they're likely thinking of you too. Have you ever noticed that when something funny happens, they're the first person you want to share it with? You see a meme, hear a joke, or experience something hilarious, and before you even process it, your instinct is to send it to them. That's a reflection of your connection. It means they hold a space in your mind, even in the smallest, most everyday moments. Moods can sync up in ways that defy explanation. You're going about your day, and suddenly, you feel a wave of sadness or anxiety for no reason. Later, you find out they were going through something heavy at that exact moment. It's like their emotions transferred to you even without a single word exchanged. That's not just a coincidence, that's emotional synchronization. It's what happens when two people share a bond strong enough to be felt, even from a distance. Music is another thing that has a strange way of revealing connections. Have you ever had a song randomly play that instantly reminds you of someone? Maybe it's a song you both loved, or maybe it's a song with lyrics that perfectly describe your relationship. It feels like a message from the universe, nudging you to pay attention to your feelings. And often, the other person is experiencing something similar at the same time. Then there's the phenomenon of seeing their name everywhere. You're watching TV and suddenly a character with their name pops up. You're scrolling through social media and their name randomly appears in a post. You're in a conversation and someone casually mentions their name. It happens too often to ignore. These signs show up when there's an energetic pull between two people. Gut feelings are powerful. Sometimes you just know someone is thinking about you. You can't explain it, but you can feel it. It's like an invisible thread tying the two of you together. Maybe it comes as a sudden warmth in your chest, a moment of deja vu, or just an unshakable certainty that they're on your mind for a reason. That's your intuition speaking. And more often than not, it's right. And when you finally talk, it's as if you both had the same thoughts running through your minds. The conversation flows naturally, picking up exactly where you left off. You say something, and they respond with, "I was just thinking the same thing." That's not just casual chemistry. That's a deep, almost telepathic connection. There's something unexplainable about the way time seems to pause when you're together. No matter how long it's been, the moment you see each other again, everything falls into place. You don't need to force anything. It just is. It feels natural, easy, and familiar. That's how you know the connection is real. When two people are truly connected, they don't always need words. Their energy speaks louder than anything. Their thoughts align, their emotions mirror each other, and their lives keep leading them back to one another. It's a connection that defies logic and explanation. Real connections go beyond words. It's a bond so strong that even silence holds meaning. It's when you can sit in the same room without saying anything and still feel understood. It's when they don't have to explain how they feel because you already sense it. It's when their presence alone brings comfort. That's not just chemistry, that's something deeper. The universe has a way of sending signs when two people are meant to stay connected. It places reminders in your path, urges you to reach out, and brings their name into your world unexpectedly. These signs aren't random, they're guiding you towards something real. If you keep noticing them, don't brush them off. Pay attention to what life is showing you. Connections like these are rare, and when they happen, they deserve to be acknowledged. If someone is constantly on your mind, there's a reason. If they're showing up in your dreams, appearing in your thoughts, and triggering memories, don't ignore it. That connection exists for a purpose. And when the signs keep showing up, it's up to you to decide what to do with them. The universe gives signs in ways that most people ignore. We go through life thinking everything is just coincidence, just random events happening with no meaning. But when it comes to real connections between two people, things don't just happen for no reason. The universe places signs in front of us trying to get our attention. It pushes certain people into our thoughts, makes their name appear out of nowhere, and lines up situations that seem too perfect to be random. Think about those moments when you randomly think of someone you haven't spoken to in a while and suddenly they reach out. Maybe they call, maybe they text, or maybe you run into them unexpectedly. That's not just chance, that's a sign. It means there's unfinished business, an unresolved feeling, or simply a connection so strong that time and distance can't break it. Dreams are one of the most powerful ways the universe sends messages. If someone keeps appearing in your dreams, it's because your subconscious is processing their presence in your life. Dreams are the mind's way of sorting through emotions, memories, and things we don't always acknowledge when we're awake. If you keep dreaming about someone, it means they hold a significant place in your thoughts, even if you don't fully realize it. And more often than not, if you're dreaming about them, they're dreaming about you too. Have you ever noticed how certain names, words, or places seem to pop up over and over again? Maybe you're thinking about someone and suddenly you see their name in a book, hear it in a conversation, or spot it on a sign. It happens too frequently to be a coincidence. The universe works through patterns, and when something keeps showing up, it's trying to get your attention. And that songs have a strange way of delivering messages. Maybe you're thinking about someone and a song comes on that reminds you of them. Maybe it's a song you both loved, or maybe the lyrics describe exactly how you're feeling. It feels like the song was meant for you at that moment. And sometimes, without even knowing it, the other person hears the same song at the same time, feeling the same emotions. Energy doesn't lie. Have you ever felt an unexplained pull towards someone like you just know they're thinking about you? It's an instinct, a gut feeling that doesn't need proof to be real. Some connections are so strong that they go beyond physical presence. You don't have to be in the same room to feel them. Their energy reaches you even from a distance. Sometimes the universe speaks through timing. You're going about your day, not thinking about anything specific, when suddenly something reminds you of a person. A memory resurfaces, a familiar scent fills the air, or a situation unfolds that mirrors something from your past with them. It feels like the universe is bringing them back into your awareness for a reason. Ever felt like you were in the right place at the right time? Maybe you took a different route home and unexpectedly ran into someone from your past. Maybe you made a last minute decision to go somewhere only to find yourself face to face with the very person you've been thinking about. These moments aren't accidental. The universe aligns paths when they're meant to cross. There's a reason why some people stay in your thoughts no matter how much time passes. It's not always about unfinished business or unresolved feelings. Sometimes it's just the simple fact that your energy is still connected. You can move forward, meet new people, and build a different life, but certain connections don't fade. They remain woven into the fabric of your existence, appearing in unexpected ways when you least expect it. Some people dismiss signs, thinking they're just coincidences. But the more you pay attention, the more you realize that the universe is always speaking to you. It's always giving you hints, nudging you in certain directions and placing reminders in your path. You just have to be willing to see them for what they are. If you've ever felt like someone was thinking about you at the exact moment you were thinking about them, it's because real connections transcend logic. Energy moves in ways that can't always be explained. And when two people share a strong bond, their thoughts and emotions sync up without them even trying. They can be miles apart and still feel each other's presence. Every person we meet serves a purpose in our lives. Some connections are meant to be temporary, teaching us lessons and then fading away. Others are meant to stay, continuing to show up no matter how much time or distance separates them. The universe doesn't bring certain people into your life without reason. It places them there for a purpose. And when the signs keep appearing, it's up to you to recognize them and decide what to do next. Acting on your connection is one of the most important things you can do. So many people ignore the signs, dismiss their feelings, and convince themselves that what they're experiencing is just a coincidence. But deep down, they know better. They feel the pull, the energy, the unexplainable moments that keep bringing a certain person into their mind. And yet they hesitate. They let fear, doubt, or pride hold them back from reaching out, from acknowledging what their heart is telling them. The truth is, life is too short for missed chances. Too many people wait for the perfect moment, only to realize later that they let something meaningful slip away. When someone is constantly on your mind, it's for a reason. The universe doesn't place thoughts in your head without purpose. If you're thinking of someone this much, they're likely thinking of you too. And if both of you are caught in this cycle of unspoken thoughts and feelings, what's stopping you from making a move? It's easy to assume that if someone isn't reaching out, they must not care. But that's not always the case. Sometimes they're just as hesitant as you are. Maybe they're unsure of how you'll respond. Maybe they don't want to seem too eager. Maybe they're afraid of what will happen if they open that door again. The thing is, someone has to break the cycle. Someone has to take the first step to push past the fear and simply say, hey, I was thinking about you. That one message, that one call can change everything. It can open a conversation that's been waiting to happen. It can bring two people back together who are meant to reconnect. It can provide clarity, closure, or even a fresh start. And even if it doesn't lead to what you hope for, at least you'll know. At least you won't have to wonder what could have been. Waiting for the perfect moment is a mistake because there is no perfect moment. If you keep waiting, you'll keep waiting forever. The right time is when you feel in your gut, when the thought of them won't leave your mind, when the universe keeps placing them in your path over and over again. That's the time to act. That's when you need to take a leap of faith. Some people say if they wanted to talk to me, they would. But that mindset ignores the reality of human nature. People are complex. They overthink. They second guess themselves. They get caught up in their own fears. And sometimes all it takes is one person having the courage to break the silence. That's how connections are rekindled. That's how people find their way back to each other. There's something powerful about following your intuition. Your gut feeling exists for a reason. It's that inner voice that tells you when something is right, when something is worth pursuing, when someone is worth reaching out to. Too often, people ignore that voice and let logic take over. They convince themselves that it's all in their head, that they should just move on, that it's better to stay silent. But deep down, they know the truth. They know what they feel. Every meaningful connection in life starts with someone taking action. Whether it's a friendship, a relationship, or even a simple conversation that leads to something greater, it all begins with a moment of bravery. No one ever regrets reaching out, but plenty of people regret staying silent. They spend years wondering, what if? And replaying scenarios in their minds, imagining how things could have gone differently if only they had taken that chance. Reaching out doesn't mean expecting a specific outcome. It's not about forcing a connection to happen. It's simply about acknowledging the feeling and seeing where it leads. Maybe you'll reconnect in a way that feels natural and effortless. Maybe you'll get the closure you didn't realize you needed. Maybe you'll realize that the connection was never as strong as you thought. But the point is, you'll know you won't have to wonder. You won't have to spend your days thinking about someone who may or may not be thinking about you in the same way. Too many people let their pride get in the way. They tell themselves, I'm not going to reach out first. They wait, hoping the other person will make the first move. And in the process, they waste valuable time. Time that could be spent reconnecting, rebuilding, or even just having a meaningful conversation. Time that they'll never get back. At the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen is that the other person doesn't feel the same way. And if that's the case, at least you'll have clarity. At least you won't have to keep wondering. But more often than not, the other person has been feeling the exact same way. They've been caught in the same cycle of overthinking, of wanting to reach out but holding back. And when you finally break the silence, it creates a space for honesty, for connection, for something real. It's easy to get caught up in what ifs. What if they don't respond? What if they moved on? What if they think it's weird that I reached out? But instead of focusing on the negative possibilities, what if you focused on the other side? What if they've been waiting to hear from you? What if this conversation leads to something you never expected? What if this moment changes everything? The only way to find out is to take that chance, to listen to the signs, to trust your intuition, to act on your connection. Because when the universe keeps pushing someone into your thoughts, there's a reason. And the only question is whether you'll listen to it or let the opportunity pass you by.